Hey kids, if you're not having fun yet, I don't know when you're gonna. This is Rick Elkin, and I want to talk today about Alec Baldwin. Um, I know you know who he is. He makes sure the fact that everybody in the country knows who he is. And the question I have is, why would anybody in the business world want to, or even activist groups or advocacy movements, why would they want to have Alec Baldwin as one of their spokespersons? The guy's a goon, and he's got a history of being a bully, and he's clearly just incredibly self-righteous and arrogant. And if any of you have watched this guy over the years, you've got to be aware of his bullying. And I think it was in 2011 when he was involved with his wife, actress Kim Basinger, and they were involved in a big legal dispute about the care and custody of their daughter, whose name I think was Ireland. And Alec was recorded on a phone call by Basinger, calling his daughter a rude and thoughtless little pig. And that was just a part of a really violent, long phone call where he berated his wife and the way she took care of the kids, and literally was abusive over the phone, and indicative of a guy that absolutely has no control over his temper. And he later said he contemplated suicide over the publicity that that phone call received. And I think that in and of itself demonstrates how narcissistic this man is. If I can't have my way, I'll just kill myself, and you'll all feel really bad about that. And I recently heard a recorded interchange between Baldwin and TV star Sean Hannity. And Baldwin was apparently auditioning for a radio talk show with a mutual friend of Hannity's on his talk show. And Hannity called in. And so there was an interchange between Baldwin and Hannity. And, Hannity repeatedly invited Baldwin to appear on his TV show. But all Baldwin could do was throw invectives at Hannity. And he said, I would never go on your TV show because you're just a no talent hack. Well, I mean, clearly, this is incredible. Either Alec Baldwin has been living under a rock, or he just refuses to acknowledge that Hannity has the top rated TV show in his time slot nationally. And now let's all recall that Alec Baldwin had a TV show on MSNBC. I think it was in 2013 or 14, called Up Late with Alec Baldwin, and it was canceled after 5 shows. So the man knows not of what he speaks. And not to mention, he never did get that radio show job, and probably because people don't really want to listen to some guy just yell profanities at his guests. And beyond that, what Baldwin has done is typically invite people to come on to his show that agree with him so that he can pontificate and proselytize his progressive, agenda. Um, and recently, when he was interviewed, he said Donald Trump, people in New York know that Donald Trump was not the crack businessman that he makes himself out to be. And he said something about Trump's apprentice show that, Trump was just acting. Well, isn't that interesting? Because isn't that what made Alec Baldwin famous? Was his acting? Is he suggesting that it doesn't take any talent to act? Um, so anyway, besides that, Alec Baldwin is essentially a character actor. Have you ever seen him cry on camera? I can't remember ever seeing him do that, and it's probably because they don't give him those kind of parts because he isn't any good at it. Um, you know, most of the time he's a character actor and he plays really ugly, obnoxious jerks. And I have to admit, he's really good at that. So anyway, he has a long history of run-ins with the law, a lot of convictions for disorderly conduct, in some cases assault. He remember in 2013 he called a annoying videographer a cocksucking fag. So much for his progressive inclusiveness. He's a hothead, and by his own admission, he was recently ordered by a judge to attend anger management classes. So, he's a lefty PETA supporter. He was quoted as saying about farm sanctuaries, Adopt a Turkey Project. At least 46 million turkeys suffer heartbreaking fear and pain before being killed each and every Thanksgiving. Then he turns around and supports late-term infanticide. Now talk about hubris. Alec Baldwin is a fake moralist, a limousine liberal, and a self-involved elitist snob. So sign him up as your spokesperson at your own risk. That's it for me today. Look forward to seeing you again soon.